Have you ever had one of those moments where you just know what to do? You feel clear, decisive, and you're ready to make action. And then something happens. A voice pipes up, and it sounds suspiciously like a former boss, a critical parent, or that competitive friend from years ago. That voice that says, who do you think you are? Do you think you can do this? That's too risky. What will people think? Suddenly, your clear decision becomes a debate. It's a confidence, and it's attacking your confidence. It's like a committee meeting, and it's a terrible meeting. Everybody is talking over each other. The loudest voice is the most fearful one. And the leader, you are the actual leader. You've lost control of the room. Today, we're going to fix that. We're going to talk about the most important governing body that you will ever manage. What is that? That is your personal board of directors. These are your inner voices, the inherited scripts, the archetypes that shape your every move. Every moment tests you. Every action defines you. This is the prestigious initiative where mindset becomes muscle and character becomes legacy. I'm Chris Bean, martial artist, coach, and relentless believer in growth. If you're here to sharpen your edge, lead with integrity, and build a life that echoes beyond your years, you're home. You can find the podcast on social media at PrestigiouSPod. You can find me at Chris Bean Official, and the email for the podcast is prestigiousinitiative@gmail.com. Most of us have a board that we never chose, right? All those people are just there. Today, listen, I want you to become the CEO. The CEO who audits, fires, and then strategically hires. This is the ultimate act of intentionally designing your life. I want you to be the curator of your inner council. Let's picture this. Okay, there's a boardroom. Okay, at the head of the table, there's an empty chair. That chair, that's your seat, the CEO, the true self, your truest version. But you've been absent, pulled in a million different directions. And in your absence, others have taken the lead of the table. Let's meet some of the usual uninvited attendees, right? Okay, so you have the inner critic. He's the former drill sergeant. His feedback is only about what's wrong. The confused criticism, really that's his strategy. He thinks his job is to keep you small, so you never face failure. Then you have the people pleaser. She's frantically taking notes on what everybody else in the room wants. Her motto is harmony at all costs. Even if it is your own integrity. Now, don't forget the catastrophist. His job is to point out on all of the negative things that could happen. He's got a whiteboard full of every possible disaster scenario. He believes his job is to predict the next iceberg. But what he's really doing is he's busy steering the ship in that direction. Then you have the instant gratification committee, the ones that are scrolling through feeds, pushing for the easy fix, the distraction. Listen, those are the voices that say just this once, one exception. And of course, that derails the whole quarter. It's chaotic. It's exhausting, and every major decision in your life is you listening to that board. Should I take this leap? Do I set this next boundary? It all gets filtered through this very dysfunctional committee. No wonder we feel stuck. We're being governed by a cabinet of fear. So, stepping back into that role of the returning CEO. Your task is not to lead a coup. Really, right now, what I want you to do is to conduct a quiet audit. You need to know who's actually at the table. I want you to think through a slightly rough decision that you recently made. Maybe it's saying no to predict or project a financial goal. Or it's having that one very tough conversation with a friend. Now I want you to rewind the tape. Did the discussion in your head, did it sound like those chaotic board of directors that are there yelling over each other? And if it did, whose voices did you hear? Was it the worrying of a parent, the dismissive tone of a teacher, the envy of a peer? Listen, right now, don't judge them. Your job is just simply to observe. Write them down if you can. There's the voice of my perfectionist former boss. There's the inner narrator that I had from high school and when I was so anxious. Listen, this isn't about blame. Right now, this is about awareness. For years, you thought that noise that you hear every time you have a decision to make, you thought that was you. Listen, I'm here to tell you it is not you. That is a board that you inherited. In the moment that you can start to name the voices, you separate from the inner core identity. You separate that piece out of you. You see it as an attendee at the meeting, not the chairperson. Remember, you are the chairperson that's there. Now, moving on to the next step. With that audit done, you have to remind yourself that you have the power. You have the power of the gavel. It is time to reconstruct the board. You don't have to fire the old members. You understand their role was just misplaced. The critic was trying to protect you from shame. The people pleaser was really just there to try to keep you safe. Acknowledge that. Kindly show them the door and allow them to walk through it. Their strategies, they're outdated. You need to understand their strategies are outdated. You get to choose who has a seat at that table, who has a voice. You get to hire deliberately, strategically. Build the dream team that you want, the dream team that's going to help to allow you to live your best life. Who do you want in the room? I suggest starting with these 3 key people. Okay, first, I would say hire the strategic architect. This is the voice that would be the person that's going to design your life. She thinks in systems and blueprints. Her questions are something like, does it align with our core values? What is the long-term architecture here? She's calm, logical, and always focused on what the future is going to be. The second person that I would invite here is the compassionate curator. This is the voice of the deep self-knowledge. She asks type of questions that are like, what do I need right now? Is this nourishing or is this depleting? She's there to protect your energy and remind you that you are a human being, not a human doing. And remember, those are different. That's a very key mindset there. The third person is the playful experimenter. This is the spirit of iterative test and reminding you that iterative test, those experiments are really just a game. His question is, what if we tried this as an experiment? He diffuses the pressure of the permanent decision and brings in curiosity and resilience to the table. Now, these voices are your voices. You are building them from people that you admire, from the best parts of your own past. This type of architecture that really resonates with you. Give them a seat. Give them a very clear portfolio. The next thing is, okay, how do you actually make this work? How do you make this something that you can actually practice? Well, it's by design. You have to be conscious in this. Make it a practice. Focus on this. The next time a decision brings on that familiar chaos, pause for a moment. Imagine walking into that boardroom, gently thanking those old reactive voices for their input. Listen, they mean well. They really do. And then allow them to walk through the door, dismiss them, and then turn to your appointed counsel. Turn your attention to the people who you want to listen to. That strategic architect, right? What is the aligned move here? Turn to the compassionate curator. What do I need in order to sustain this movement? Turn to the playful experimenter. How can we make a very smart first step? Understand that this is a game. This is an experiment. Understand that you're not going to probably get it right this first time, but that's okay. The playful experiments are there is to help you, to remind you that that's how it's going to be. You're no longer a passive participant in a shouting match, right? That's how the old you operated. Right now, I want you to step in as a CEO that is guiding a structured session, executive decision making. That's the type of mindset that I want you to have right now. This is going to shift your inner experience from reacting to the noise, reacting to the pressure that is there, into cultivating wisdom. What it takes is an emotional charge out of decision making, and it's going to replace it with intentionality. Be intentional in your decisions. Be thoughtful. Be the head of the CEO. Be the CEO of your own decision. Start small. Practice this with something that has low stakes. Maybe it's a decision of, what to cook for dinner, how to spend the free hour that you have. Start by building the muscle. Then, when the big promotion, the relationship crossroads, or the creative leap appears, your board is ready to take action. You are ready to take action as the CEO, designing that life for yourself. Your call to action this week is to lead your first board meeting. Take 10 minutes, write down the names of the archetypes, the current voices that are in your head, especially the person with the loudest voice. And right now, all I want you to do is just simply acknowledge them. Then, on a new page, I want you to draft your ideal board. Who are the 3, maybe even 5 advisors? The wise sage, the brave advocate, the grounded realist. Name them. Give them a phrase. Give them a mission. Their resume. Why are they on that council? The architect asks, does this build my vision? That's kind of the key that I want you to take away here. Does this build my key vision? Is this architect, is this board that I have in place? Number 1, am I leading it? And number 2 is it putting me on the path that's going to lead me to where I want to go? Finally, in one small decision this week, connect with them. Connect with that new board, that board that you consciously put into power. See how it feels to lead from the head of the table. So far, you've been living with the committee of the past, the chaos, the loud, the yelling, and you're not even at the table. So I want you to step into the board, dismiss that old board, sit down with a new team, connect with them. Remember that you are designing the future for yourself. You are the CEO in that boardroom. It's your vote. Take it back.